Hi everybody, this is Hannah with Hannah's Heirlooms, and I'm going to show you today how to make an upcycled Suncatcher using bangles. Now if you're like me and you buy a lot of jewelry lots, you probably have plenty of these. They're very common and a lot of them get tarnished and bent up, but they're perfect to craft with. So I have been making Suncatchers and having so much fun with them. And I'm going to show just a little clip of two of them that I have made recently. And you can do all kind of things. The sky's the limit. Just use your imagination. With one of these Suncatchers, I actually used silk ribbon, and I tore the end in half and then tied it around the bangle so it would hang, and then I tied like chandelier beads. You can add just anything. The other one's much more simpler, and I've got just beads, salvaged beads that I have in my craft stash, and I've linked them together with eyepins and just a few jump rings, and they're just really simple. You can use whatever you have. I try to avoid using new stuff. So what I have here, actually I'm just going to use one bangle for this one, but as you can see, the other one I used 3 bangles, and I love how that looks because you can hang it in your window. You can also hang it from like your ceiling, and if there's a little air movement, it'll spin. So you can get creative with, you know, trying to figure out the movement of it, and it can become a mobile very easily. But these I just like to hang in my window. So I have here a bunch of crystal beads. I'm just showing you some of the stuff I had out, but I actually laid everything out that I plan on doing, but of course things change. I considered using this Chandelier crystal prisms, and I find these online. I also find them in antique stores. Often you can buy them as replacements for, you know, crystal chandeliers, lamps, and things like that. That would be a really cool piece in the middle. You can also hang it down, and that could be a main focal. This one is heavy. And then I just have a variation of glass beads, and I also have vintage AB crystal beads. You will need some eye pins, and you could also use head pins. And I use these if, like down here, this is going to be my last bead, and I don't want to loop on the end. So I'll put that on there so it will look nicer that way. And I have all different lengths. These beads I have here are pretty long, and I'm not sure those are long enough. And I'll show you what I do with that. So we're just going to get started. Basically, this is going to be assembling this. I use these really large, I think these are stainless steel Jumprings. I just had them. I bought a lot of jewelry, crafting supplies, and this was one of them. I'm going to add it on like that, and it'll hang. I use these suction cups, and it'll just hang like that. You can add another jump ring if it's not laying right. So yeah, let me go over the tools as well. So to open jump rings, I like to use flat nose pliers. I like to use 2 of them so I don't mess up my nails. And if you need to cut any wire, you would like some wire cutters. These are just side cutters. I also have, these are just from broken necklaces. This is an extender, and I just like to have these on hand in case I want to use some chain in this. And I do have some extra jump rings if I need any. And I think that's all I need. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start from the top. It doesn't matter. And I have this sort of briolette shaped glass bead. This is from I think it was an earring. And I love the color of it. I think this is glass. And I want to hang these two together. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this eye pin because I want to hang this from here, and all I got to do is add a jump ring, and it's very simple. Oh, I forgot. You will need round nose pliers so you can make the loop at the end of this. I just kind of eyeball it, give you enough room. Better to take off less than you think you need to. So you just want to bend it over like that, and then place it down near the end so the loop will be a little larger, and you just start twisting. You may need to hold this end so the wire doesn't turn, and you just keep spinning. It can be a little tricky at first. I like to kind of form it there. So that's ready to go. I'm going to get a few more small jump rings because these that I have here are a little too large. And I'm also not too concerned with using a certain metal color. So I'm having gold tones, and then I have silver tone jump rings here. I like mixing metals. It's not that big of a concern to me, but it may be to you. You may want to keep a certain color scheme. And I'm using what I have. So I just have these really small brass jump rings. So I'm opening it and I'm twisting it this way. Put that on there. And then I'm gonna loop my bead on like that. Close it. Have a little beaded dangle there. So I'm going to get another jump ring. And you kind of may have to figure out what size you need. So this should fit on here. Yeah. And there should be enough room. I can also loop this on here. Sometimes I use the side of this to help close it. There are other tools for using to open and close jump rings. So that looks good to me. I'm gonna hook it on here. I'm gonna close this large jump ring and just see how it looks to you. I like that. So we've got this that hangs in the middle. And now I can add my butterfly here. So this is what I'm thinking. This is just a piece I saved. It's got 2 holes here and 2 holes at the bottom. Of course, then you have all these open areas. You can hang more if you wanted to, but I thought that I would maybe hang some chain here, and then I want 4 strands of crystals. I just moved mine, that's fine. I'll figure it out in a minute. So I'm gonna figure out what chain I wanna use. I wanna use something small that's not going to detract too much from my piece. I want the crystals to stand out. This is a really dainty chain, so I'm probably going to use this. So I'm going to need my wire cutters to cut this chain down. Oh, I just messed up my nail. You can also use a bead mat. That will help keep your beads from flying around. It's like a felt material. So I'm actually thinking about using little jump rings to hook to it, and then I'm just going to hang it not very far down. So I'm just kind of laying this chain out to kind of see what I think. That's good. So I'm going to hold that there because that's where I want to cut it. Again, just have some fun with this. Now I may have to put a jump ring in the middle to keep it from sliding around, but let's see how this will work. I guess this means I need to get gold jump rings so things match a little better. That's fine. This one I'm not too worried about, and if anybody is interested in buying it, let me know. I'm very generous with my prices, especially direct sales for my videos. So I'm just having a little trouble. I don't think this chain, no, it will fit on here. It's a little finicky. My pliers are magnetic, so this chain's hooking to it. Okay, I'm going to use my hand. There we go. My fingers, I mean. I am not the most graceful person when it comes to crafting, and especially showing how I craft. Okay. Open another jump ring. We'll put the chain on first. Maybe that'll be easier. Okay. Yeah, the magnetic pliers are not helping me. So just trying to get this little link on the jump ring. There we go. Okay, so I got another brass jump ring, and I'm just going to add this to the middle of the chain, which is about right there. And then this should be big enough to hook on here. I'm going to close that jump ring. Okay. That is how that is looking. I do like that. Maybe a little shorter, but that's fine. We will go with this. So this is how I want each side of the butterfly to be. I want these crystals hanging like this. So I want there to be a little length from this, so I may add just a little bit of chain so that the bead's not way up here. I want it to be about right there, so I'm going to cut some more chain, and I'm gonna do like equal lengths, and I'm not gonna do very much of it. I think probably about here. And I'm going to cut one of these links. Take that broken link off. Then I'm going to cut again in the middle, so I have 2 chains. Right, then I just need some more jump rings. Okay, I've added the chain on each side here, and I actually went and found some more gold tone jump rings, smaller ones, because I felt like the brass was getting a little distracting, and I found more head pins. These are actually a more yellow color, but it'll be okay. You won't really see it as much. And I found some really long ones that I need for these beautiful yellow, these yellow leaves. And I want to mention, like, you see how that kind of went pretty far in there? You might need to put a spacer bead, so maybe a seed bead, or I might find some smaller beads to add to this so that it's not sitting down there. I want this to stick out a little farther, so you can just play around with that if you encounter that problem. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use these eye pins, and I'm going to demonstrate one of them. So I'm going to take my really as short as I can find, so I don't have to cut off too much, eye pin, and I'm going to put them on like that, cut off the excess, and then I'm just going to keep linking them, and I'm going to link each loop to each other. So here I'm going to cut off extra. Oh, there's a little jump ring in there. So I just kind of eyeball it, take off less than you think. Yes, they may go flying. And kind of gently bend this over. I have chip beads doing that, so just be careful. And just start clamping down and twisting. And then sometimes I'll squeeze down here to close it, or like that. So you've got a little looped bead there. Now, I am going to use these. These are actually from Chandeliers, and they have 2 top center drilled holes. So I can't use the eye pins for that. So what I'm going to do is you want to find a jump ring large enough that you can just link it through. So these, I'm pretty sure this will work. You want to make sure this hole is big enough so that it can loop around there. Then you just close it like so. And you can put another link right here. I'll actually show you. That's what I did with this one with the silk ribbon. I used the Jumprings to just link them together like so. So, and then of course, you can just put that loop on there. You can add another jump ring to link them together. It just depends on how it sits and what you prefer, what you like. So that's basically what I'm gonna do for all these beads. So I am gonna come back after I finish these two sides, and then I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do for these two strands here. So stay tuned and I'll be right back. So here I have either side finished, and I just simply linked them together, looped whenever I put the eye pin on, looped it, hooked it onto this jump ring. So I ended up adding these little gold tone end caps or bead caps, and they really add to a piece, and I think they often get overlooked. I know when I'm buying craft supplies, I forget about bead caps, and here's a really pretty one there on the end, and I just love how this looks. It is balanced. I had to actually take the jump ring off, move the chain a little because it was a little wonky, but now it's balanced when it hangs. And so these two, I actually want to make them asymmetrical. I think that'll be really cool. And I have these beautiful citrine color briolette glass that I want to add to the end. And I'm going to add these little leaf bead caps to them. And then I have like some really tiny ones, same as these, that I'm going to add to the end there. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got really tiny eyelets or eye pins for these smaller beads, and I'm just going to keep doing it, and I'm going to link them all together, add a jump ring to the little holes here on the end of the butterflies, and that's it, and it'll be ready to hang. So I'm going to work on this and then just hang tight, and we're going to reveal the final piece, so stay tuned. So here's the final reveal, and I really like how it turned out. As you can see here, one strand's a little bit longer, and I just did the same thing I did over here. Used the eye pins to link together, added these cute little bead caps. I really like how it turned out. Oh, and you know what? The very end of the beads, I didn't use the headpins, which are flat. I totally forgot about it, but you know what? I really don't mind it, and I could just add a little charm on the end if I wanted to, but I'll probably leave it as is. I really like these twisted pressed leaves. Then these little chandelier extras. So this seems a little plain to me compared to everything else, but I could add more if I wanted to. But I think that I like it as is, and just have fun with this. I would love to know if you guys ever make one yourself. You can do it more as a mobile, and you can see how it's already, you know, spinning around a little bit. But I have it to where I can hang it up against a wall or on the window, and it looks beautiful as is. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments down below. I love to hear from you guys. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And also consider subscribing. I do a lot more videos like this where I upcycle jewelry pieces. And in this case, I use jewelry pieces to make, you know, a decor piece. Just kind of think outside of the box sometimes. And I also do unboxings and I sell for my videos, and I do educational content on how to identify different vintage jewelry, especially glass beads. So I'd love it if you stick around and check out my other content, and I will see you guys in the next one.